what has been a weekend of political rallies in the town of Kwekwe has left one person dead and 17 seriously injured after a group of suspected ZANU-PF youths violently interrupted the Citizens Coalition for Change CCC rally on Sunday. Now, this was indeed a story that, as you can see on the screen, pushing, fighting. Well, the machete-wielding gang, the CCC supporters, actually broke up the huge crowd that had attended the rally in Kwekwe, resulting in the death of one. This morning, joining us from Harare to tell us more about this unfortunate incident is CCC National Deputy Spokesperson Ostallos Siziba. Thank you for being here this morning on Breakfast Central. Now, I'm made to understand that it was indeed a riot that many were not expecting. It turned out to be something that's quite pathetic. Tell us about it.
Thank you very much. Yesterday we had our rally, which was set to be addressed by the president in preparation for the by-election. The rally started on well. You know that Emerson Mnangagwa was in the same city and town day before when we were in Kwekwe, where we had a massive turnout of citizens again, where our rally was disrupted by the police, firing tear smoke and poisoned water to citizens, leading to our rally not to go ahead in Kwekwe. So we proceeded to Kwekwe yesterday, and when the president was addressing, we got a security briefing that our people were being attacked at the back, and only for us to realize that, machete wielding and armed with stones and barricades and grenades were attacking people, and there was violence leading to the temporary suspension of the president's address. When the situation had calmed down and our security managed to calm down the situation, and the president went back on stage to address. It's a very worrying trend because a few hours later, we went to the hospital with the president to see victims that were attacked, and one of our comrades, Monisi, a 35-year-old citizen, then passed away in our surgery, in a private surgery in Kwekwe. And we just received reports that there might be a possibility that we have lost another comrade just now. We're yet to verify that news, and we will make it public. So it's a sad reality of political violence in Zimbabwe. That is a characteristic of elections since independence. The state has been brutal to opposing voices and dissent in our country, and because of massive turnout after huge assault to the alternative. You know that we previously belonged to the MDC, which was crushed, everything taken and stripped away from us. But the new formation shocked the regime to the level and extent that it was not expected that there will be huge turnouts. If you look at the people that are attending our rally are the millennials, people whom traditionally have not participated in politics before and have been attracted to the yellow movement. So the massive turnouts, particularly in rural areas where ZANU-PF had been predominantly dominating the political space. So it's a worrying trend because we have lost a soul on account of politics, something that we are not prepared for. We have also made an announcement to our supporters to remain calm in the face of massive state-sponsored violence and oppression.
Ostallos, our condolences go to you, to your party, and the family of those you've lost. Now, it seemed like history keeps repeating itself when it comes to election time, when it comes to rallies and violence in Zimbabwe. How is CCC handling the violent events, especially with the one that happened yesterday, and with plans for the by-election that is coming up on the 26th of March?
Look, we had made an announcement when we decided to participate in the by-election that we're using them as a test run of starting the electoral environment in Zimbabwe in terms of the preparedness of state apparatus to deal with the recurrence of violence during elections and after elections, and also the capacity of the Electoral Commission to conduct free, fair, and credible elections. And telltale signs are beginning to show themselves, which is what Mnangagwa wanted to preach to the international community that we're open for business, we're democratic, but it's now clear that violence is rearing its ugly face in the political landscape. We're going to address a press conference in the next few hours at 12 o'clock to be specific, to address our strategic intervention to the question of violence in Zimbabwe and how do you intend to protect communities, particularly in rural areas, because elections in Zimbabwe are characterized by three fundamental problems. Number one, unlevel playing field. Number two, harvest of fear. Number three, abuse of state institutions for the purpose of power retention by the regime in Harare. So we're going to articulate at 12 afternoon our program of action, including public interest litigation, including prosecution, and other methods that we are going to employ to protect communities. And it's a worrying trend because if violence is instigated in urban areas, it means that there will be a huge problem in rural areas. So we're very worried, and we're making engagement diplomatically in terms of our engagement with international players on how impossible it is to hold elections in Zimbabwe as a method to have change of government.
All right, the gang that attacked your party supporters is suspected to belong to ZANU-PF, which interestingly had its own rally in the same city on Saturday. Why would ZANU-PF attack you, and what does it stand to gain in violence?
Look, these people are actually 16 of them have been apprehended by the police, but the major culprit has not been apprehended. And these people are well-known carrying members of ZANU-PF. A few days ago, in fact, 24 hours ago, the vice president in the same venue instigated and incited violence that the opposition must be crushed like lice. And when this happened in the history of our country, just after independence, Mugabe articulated and uttered the same statement, leading to a genocide that happened to Matabeleland, where the opposition, as was led by Nkomo, the Zimbabwe African Patriotic Party, ZAPU, was attacked, and the genocide followed, and assassination attempts on the leader then Joshua Nkomo. So these utterances are something that we don't take lightly, and we believe that the international, regional, and continental players are not going to take lightly, because this is violence instigated against defenseless citizens and incited for by the vice president, who's a former army general. So it's a worrying trend, because a culture of impunity in Zimbabwe is predominant in the political landscape because of those who claim to have participated in the liberation struggle.
Now, Ostallos, you have come out to say the police have made arrests and investigation is still underway. Now, we understand that you've lost some people, some crucial key players in your party. Can you tell us what role, or the roles that these players have played, who is replacing it, and how will your party come out stronger?
Look, these are cadres of the movement and ordinary citizens that have been attacked. The immediate reaction we had with our social welfare department, ensuring that we get treatment from our private doctors for these activists and citizens that were attacked without defense. And also, one of the things that we have done as a movement is that, look, this is a citizens movement. It's way bigger than us as a collective leadership. And that's why we have said we are forging ahead. Because the intention is to try and deter citizens, the intention is to scare us into submission. And we're not prepared to do that, because we are here to abolish an oppressive and repressive system. And we have to forge ahead. Our bet with increased security and change of venue, we might not be able to use these open spaces because they make our people vulnerable and the leadership, as it were. So we're going to be changing the structure of our venue, increasing security to make sure that we protect our people, we protect the leadership. But definitely we are forging ahead. Yes, any struggle has its own bruises and pains. So this struggle, as long as it's necessary to abolish the repressive system.
All right, we will be closely monitoring this development in your country as we count down to the by-election that is coming up. Thank you so much, CCC's spokesperson. We have Ostallos Siziba. Thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you.